You know you're in America when there's a psychic on every corner, right next to a vape shop, a pawn shop, and a nail salon. And here's the craziest thing, it's always 10 bucks. Like, predicting my future somehow costs less than avocado toast in Miami now. I used to pass this one spot every single morning on my way to get coffee. Huge neon sign glowing in the window. Palm reading, stare at, $10 special. Every time I saw it, I wondered, who's actually going in there? What do they even do all day? Well, one day curiosity got the best of me. I walked in. Immediately, I'm hit with smell of incense, mystery, and questionable life decisions. A woman steps out from behind a beaded curtain because apparently psychic shops legally have to have beaded curtain. And without missing a beat, she looks at me straight in the eyes and says, "You're at a crossroads in your life." I was like, okay, now you have my attention. Either she's a psychic or she just recognized the unmistakable expression of someone who just spent $18 on a smoothie and was seriously questioning all his life choices. From that moment, I was hooked. Not necessarily on the reading, but on the whole vibe. Like, who are these people? How is this even a viable business model? And why does every psychic shop feels like it's halfway between day spa and a conspiracy theory? So today, we're diving deep into the strange neon-lit world of American psychics. How did this trend start? Why is it still going strong? And what does it really say about us that so many Americans still want their palms read, their futures predicted, or just someone to listen? Let's find out. Spoiler alert, they might know you're coming. First off, psychics aren't exactly a new thing. America has a long history of loving the mysterious and mystical. Back in the late 1800s and early 1900s, spiritualism exploded. Even famous figures like Abraham Lincoln's wife held seances at the White House, trying to contact spirits. People gathered in fancy parlors, desperately wanting to talk to ghosts or figure out if their late uncle actually buried gold in their backyard. But storefront psychics, the neon sign, $10 palm reading kind, those are uniquely American twist. It's a little bit of old world mysticism mixed with flashy American marketing. Basically, fortune telling meets capitalism, because why shouldn't your future predictions be priced lower than lunch? And here's the thing, it's not just tourists keeping these shops open. Plenty of locals regularly drop by for advice on relationships, job decisions, or just because it's cheaper than therapy. I actually have a friend, true story, who once went to a psychic for marriage advice. He tells her he's having doubts. The psychic stares into her crystal ball and says, "The love of your life is a blonde." Problem is, his wife, very much a brunette. Fast forward a year, they're divorced. And no, he didn't run off with the blonde. He's just happily single now. Maybe still waiting for that mysterious blonde to show up like his delayed Amazon package. So yeah, tread carefully. These things can get real fast. But of all places, why is Miami absolutely packed with psychics? Well, partly it's cultural. Miami is an eclectic mix, Latin American, Caribbean, European, and these cultures often come with strong spiritual and mystical traditions. Here people are a little more open to things like tarot cards, astrology, or having someone named Madame Rosa read their tea leaves. But let's be honest, maybe half of these places survive purely from tipsy tourists stumbling in at 2 a.m. wanting to know if their soulmate was the person who just swiped left on them at the club. Still, how exactly do these psychic storefronts actually stay in business? Is it a hustle, or do Americans genuinely have an endless appetite for hearing vaguely reassuring life advice while incense burns in the background? To answer that, let's take a quick peek behind the curtain, literally, and see how these places actually operate. Here's where things get interesting. A lot of psychic storefronts follow the same script. You walk in, there's soft music playing, candles everywhere, and maybe a few crystals scattered around like spiritual sprinkles. You sit down, they ask for your name, maybe your birthday, and then, boom, they start reading your palm, flipping tarot cards, or staring deep into your aura like it owes them money. And what they say, it's always just vague enough to feel true. You've been feeling uncertain lately. You have a big decision coming. There's someone in your life. They're draining your energy. Yes, of course there is. He's called my boss. But that's the magic of it. It feels personal. Even if they're saying the same 5 things to everyone, we walk out thinking, whoa, how did she know about my situationship from last summer that I still pretend doesn't affect me? And let's not forget the upsells. You go in for a $10 reading, and 5 minutes later, you're being told there's a dark energy around you that can only be removed for the very low price of $199.99. Some even offer a love cleansing, which sounds less like a spiritual service and more like something you need antibiotics for. But here's the wild part. It works. Not the psychic part necessarily, but the experience. People walk out feeling lighter, comforted, maybe even hopeful. And in a world full of stress, burnout, and endless scrolling, sometimes just having someone look you in the eye and say, "You're on the right path," is worth the 10 bucks. Or the 200, depending on how cursed you feel that day. Why Americans, living in the one most tech-driven, logic-obsessed, data-heavy countries on earth, still so into psychics? Well, here's the thing about America. We love control. We want plans, updates, shipping notifications, 5-year goals, 10-year visions. But life doesn't work like that. Life is chaotic, messy, and full of moments where you're like, is this a turning point or just indigestion? That's where psychics come in. They give people the illusion of clarity in a world that makes no sense. In a culture obsessed with productivity and answers, sitting in a dimly lit room while someone tells you that good energy is coming feels kinda amazing. Plus, America's a race to believe that anything is possible. Dream big, manifest, visualize success. Psychics fit right into that mindset. They're like motivational speakers with scarves and incense. And let's not ignore the vibe. Psychic shops aren't just about predictions. They're a whole experience. You walk in stressed and walk out smelling like lavender and vague hope. It's cheaper than therapy, faster than meditation, and you don't even have to take off your shoes. And honestly, it's a country where people tip their baristas extra just for writing their name with a smiley face. Is it really that weird to pay someone to tell your future looks bright? Of course, the psychic game has changed. You don't even need to leave your house anymore. Just scroll TikTok for 5 minutes and you'll find a girl in the moon earrings telling you to pause because this message is for you. She pulls a tarot card, looks straight into your soul, and says something like, you're about to cut off toxic energy from your life. And you're sitting there with a sandwich thinking, is she talking about my ex? Or maybe gluten. Psychics have gone digital and business is booming. Astrology apps, Zoom meetings, crystal subscription box. It's all part of the same American cocktail of hustle, hope, and healing. And while some folks still see it as a scam, others see it as self-care with a little sparkle. And really, maybe that's the whole point. Whether or not you believe in psychic powers, sometimes you need someone to tell you things are going to be okay. To listen, to say your energy is shifting, or love is coming, or you're destined for something greater, even if all you ask was whether you should text them back. So, next time you see one of these neon signs glowing, psychic readings $10, just remember, you're not walking past the business. You're walking past the one strangest, most enduring reflections of American culture. It's hopeful, it's weird, it's a little shady, but then again, so is a lot of America.